Hi everyone, Tom here. I thought I'd share with you my very first trail ride in Colorado. Early last week, a friend of mine and I drove from Chicago to Colorado, just west of the Denver area. We did our first leg from Chicago to Kearney, Nebraska, and then the next day from Kearney all the way to Devil's Canyon Trail. Now, Devil's Canyon is just southwest of Idaho Springs, and it's a moderate trail that I found on Trails Off-Road. And what appealed to me about this trail was that it looked like it had a lot of dispersed camping sites. And one of the main reasons I went to Colorado was, aside from the trails, to spend some time alone up in the mountains, camp, play radio, and just enjoy time away from the city and in nature. In this video, I'll show you the part of Devil's Canyon that we took. We didn't end up taking the full loop. We just went from the start to one of the main peaks, hung out there for a little bit. It's where I spent the night and camped. Beautiful area, by the way. And so if first-person view trail videos aren't your deal, then go ahead and skip this one. I just thought I'd share our point of view taking the trail up to where we did. A little bit of narration, and at the end of the video, there's a couple of really nice aerial shots that we took that I hope you enjoy. So without further ado, this is our ride of Devil's Canyon. One of the first things that I learned on the Colorado trails was, regardless of the trail's difficulty rating, airing down just makes for a much more pleasant ride. I'm so glad that I got some quick deflators and then a Via compressor that allowed us to quickly deflate and re-air on every one of the trails that we took. You'll notice throughout this video that I ride up a hill and then come to a stop, allowing my friend to go ahead of me. We had literally come straight from driving from Nebraska to this trailhead and then going straight down the trail. And I wasn't quite prepared for the fact that the elevation and just having run the car for so long really took its toll on the CVT and just the overall power of the Crosstrek. I was really struggling to get up some of these hills with the pedal floored and the CVT just barely keeping up. At this time I'm running probably about 235 degrees on the CVT, which is getting close to the point where you really need to stop and let it cool off. This first switchback ended up giving me some troubles at the top. There was a couple of deep ruts that I just couldn't quite navigate as well as I would have liked to, and I got stuck and had to go back and forth a couple of times. Wow, these are big ruts. Oh, didn't make that one. Bad line. Hold on, I'm stuck. At the top of this next hill, we spotted a motorcyclist coming down the trail. He was super nice and ended up pausing to let us pass. I mean, uphill does have the right-of-way, but I was expecting him to keep going, so I took this turn wide. By doing so, I kind of screwed up my line and ended up having to course correct a couple of times.
Oh, sorry. Gonna have to try to pick a good line here. Shit. Which way you going?
At this time, the constant uphill definitely took its toll on the Crosstrek, which was pretty exhausted at this time. So I'm pushing about 248 degrees on the CVT at this point, and really just needed to stop and let it cool down. I think it's right around that temperature where the Crosstrek starts to go into fail-safe mode and starts limiting engine power, and it was really noticeable. I had the thing floored, and what you're seeing here is me flooring it, just getting uphill, and it wasn't having a whole lot of it. So we stopped for lunch at the top of the hill, let it cool off, sitting there with the heat on. Within 30 minutes, we were ready to go. This was a nice little overlook that we stopped for some photo ops. The little trail to the left here led down to what might be a cute little campsite, so we stopped and checked it out, but decided to keep going. At this time, my buddy in the Land Cruiser once again took the lead. Sadly, my roof rack GoPro was about to die, so good thing my buddy was also capturing the trail, so we'll switch over to his view in a second.
shit, this is a totally different trail right here to the left. You don't have this saved.
No, that's not part of the Devil's Canyon Trail. There's a lot of shoot-offs here.
Watch yourself here, there's some rocks.
We really wanted to do the full trail, but it was getting a little late in the day and we knew the sun was going to start dipping below the mountain soon. So we made a quick press for a peak that we saw on the map up ahead, and so we can set up camp and call it a day. I gotta tell you, this trail was a perfect first trail to get immersed into Colorado's trail systems and overlanding in the Subaru. When we got to this peak, we were just overwhelmed with an absolutely gorgeous view and a perfect campsite. Devil's Canyon Trail for the win for our first day out. Time to set up camp, call it a day, and get ready for exploring the rest of the state tomorrow.